Hey there, my aspiring mathematicians in calculus. Um, I just wanted to, since I'm not going to be going over the final when we come back because we're a little behind, as you guys know, so please watch this video. I wanted to talk a little bit about the final. I will be releasing your test scores in just a couple minutes, but I'm not obviously putting all of the answers on there. So here's first of all a few stats about the final that you took, and I'm only talking about the multiple choice right now. I haven't started on the other one yet. It was out of 46 points. There was 15 problems. It was out of 46 points. The average on the test, so when you see yours, you can kind of compare yourself. So the average on the test, which is represented as this, was a 26.3. That was the average. For those people that took stats last year, you'll know the standard deviation. Okay, the standard deviation was 8. Okay, and the median, okay, the median score was a 24, okay, which tells me that this is skewed a little bit to the left, okay, and there were some pretty low scores. I'm not going to say what the low was because, you know, no one likes to feel bad, and, you know, multiple choice tests are hard. Okay, I know I haven't said this yet, but on the AP exam, usually the average on the multiple choice is like 40%, okay, and usually getting like, if you get like 60%, that's a 5, okay, that's a 5 on the AP exam. So obviously I will be using this to kind of help me see how I'm going to place the scores. If this was the average, was a 26, which if I actually do 26.3 divided by the 46, I think that's like 58%. Okay, so this right here is most likely going to be somewhere around, you know, a 75%. Okay, but I haven't actually looked at that part yet. I still look at a few things. Okay, so that's the first thing. All right, so when you're looking at it, if you got a 26 or above, that means that you are above the average in the class. If you got lower than the 26, well, then you're below the average. Just means you need to put in a little bit more time next semester. All right. Okay, so the 3 problems that a lot of people got wrong, okay? 2 of them had to, again, do with finding the equation of the tangent line, okay? So one of them was, and they weren't numbered, so it was f of x equals ln of x squared minus 3x plus 1, and we had to find the equation of the tangent line at the point 3, 0. So the first thing I have to do is find the derivative. Okay, so this is a composite function. This is the inner function, ln is the outer function. So if I think of it as ln of u or ln of p, right, that would be 1 over p, so that's going to be 1 over x squared minus 3x plus 1 times the derivative of that inner function, which is 2x minus 3. I multiply across, I have 2x minus 3 then over x squared minus 3x plus 1. Now I'm ready to find what is the slope at this point. So I need to find what is the derivative at 3. Well, 2 times 3 is 6. So I have 6 minus 3. In the denominator, I have 3 squared. That's 9. I have minus 3 times 3. That's a minus 9 plus 1. That is 3 over 1. I have a slope of 3. Okay, so my slope is 3. Here's my point. I'm going to go ahead and put that in my point slope form. So that's going to be y minus 0 equals 3 times x minus 3. And I would leave my answer just like that, okay? Because I'm not going to say who, but one person, okay, they distributed, but they didn't distribute correctly. They wrote 3x minus 3, not 3x minus 9, okay? So if you did, you know, distribute correctly, you'd have 3x minus 9. So leave your answer like that. I've talked about that. You actually don't have to simplify that. Okay, so that was one problem that a lot of people did not get correct. Okay. The next problem, I'm going to just, these aren't in any order. This was the same thing. Find the equation of a tangent line, and it looked like this. It was square root 1 plus 4 sine x, and we have to find it at 0, 1. All right. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this as y equals 1 plus 4 sine x to the 1/2. Okay, so again, I want to think of this as a composite function. This is my inner function. The outer function is something to the 1/2, u to the 1/2, or x to the 1/2, right? So I'm going to first do power rule. So my derivative, the 1/2 comes in front. This is going to stay the same to the negative 1/2 because 1/2 minus 1 times, now I got to take the derivative of this inner function. The derivative of 1 is 0. The derivative of 4 times sine x, it stays 4 because that's a constant, times the derivative of sine x, which is cosine x. So I have 4 times cosine x. Okay, now I am ready to put in, right, my x value. And I could simplify this a little bit, but I'm just going to go ahead first put it in. So I have 1/2 times, this is going to be 1 plus 4 times sine at 0. Okay, unit circle, really important. Sine at 0 right here. Well, it's actually the coordinate point 1, 0. This is my sine. So sine is 0, so 4 times 0 is just 0. I'll put it like that since I already have a plus. Okay. Times, this is 4 times, well, cosine at 0, well, that's this one, it's 1. So that's times 4. So it looks like I have 1/2 times 1, which is 1/2, times 4, which is 2. Okay, so that is my slope at that point. Now I could just use, I could actually use the slope intercept form because this is the intercept, and I could write it as y equals 2x plus 1. Or I could write it as y minus 1 equals 2 times x minus 0. Okay, putting it into the point slope form. Okay. And I just noticed I actually almost, hold on, I left off this negative 1/2. Oops, let me double check. I left off that negative 1/2. Okay, but that's still, even leaving that off, okay, this would have been, this right here would have been 1 over square root 1, okay, or 1 over 1 to the 1/2, and 1 to the 1/2 is still just 1, okay, so this would still be 1, all right, but I almost made a little mistake there. Same answer still though. Okay, all right, third problem. This one was a tricky problem, and this was actually from a released test. Okay, so this was the problem, and they asked you to find the derivative. And a lot of you chose C. A lot of you chose A and C, and I'm pretty sure it was D, but I'm not, now that I'm, anyway, you'll see what the answer is. Okay, so we have to take the derivative implicitly. So I'm going to first, so over here, this again, this is a composite function. Sine is the outside function, x plus y is the inner function. So I'm going to take the derivative of sine, which is cosine. The inside stays the same, times the derivative of this inner function, which would be 1, plus the derivative of y would be 1 as well, but timesing it by dy dx or y prime. I think I'll use dy dx. Equals, okay, over here, the derivative of 3x is 3 minus, again, that's a constant. The derivative of y would be 1 times dy dx. So that's going to be 2 times dy dx. Okay. Now, at this point, I need to get my dy dx's together, okay? So I don't want to actually divide by this because I still have, right, if I divide over here, now this is just being divided by that. I need to get those together. So this is a cosine with an input of x plus y. I need to distribute this. Okay, so now I'm going to write, so I'm going to have cosine of x plus y plus, Okay, it's going to be dy dx times the cosine of x plus y equals 3 minus 2 dy dx. Okay, so now I'm at this point. Now I want to get, right, now I want to get my dy dx's together on the same side. So I think I'm going to add this one to this side. Okay, then these two will be together, and I'm going to minus this to the other side. So I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have dy dx times cosine of x plus y plus 2 times dy dx will equal 3 minus cosine x plus y. Okay, almost last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to factor out that dy dx. Okay, so I'm going to have dy dx times the cosine of x plus y plus 2 equals 3 minus cosine of x plus y. Last thing, I'm going to divide both sides by this. So I'm going to end up with dy dx equals 3 minus cosine of x plus y divided by this, which is cosine x plus y plus 2. Okay. And that would be my answer. And I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure, well, you'll see when you get those released, which one it was. All right. Okay, I hope that was helpful. And I hope you guys all have, I think Max left. I didn't get to say goodbye to you, Max, but I hope you guys all have a really nice holiday break.